videotaping. It'll be going viral on Instagram and Facebook later. So thank you, all of you, for being here and for testifying at this hearing. Last but not least, we have Michael White and Matthew Zadrożny to close it out on behalf of libraries. We're a democratic institution. All right, who wants to go first? Matthew's been waiting longer.
Mr. Chairman, good afternoon. My name is Matthew Zadrożny. I'm a data scientist and a member of the Committee to Save the New York Public Library, also known as SaveNYPL.org. I've used the NYPL for 25 years. I donate money to the library through its Young Lions program, and I attend board meetings as a member of the public. Earlier today, you heard Tony Marks, NYPL's president, request more money for longer hours. I support this, but there's more to the story. The leadership of NYPL wants longer hours for branch libraries. However, they have resisted longer hours at NYPL's Central Research Library at 42nd and 5th Avenue. For 60 years after its founding, the main library was open around 87 hours per week. Now it is open only 56. Most days, today included, the main library closes at 6 p.m. before working New Yorkers can get there. On Sundays, the library is only open for 4 hours. Historically, longer later hours allowed New Yorkers to come after work and stay till 9 or 10 in the evening, researching, studying, and bettering their lives. NYPL reduced hours in the 70s due to a budget crisis. Now the library's endowment is at a record high of more than $1 billion. The obstacle is not money, but leadership's addiction to corporate events and weddings. Save NYPL has been protesting this. We have collected some 2,000 signatures from New Yorkers who need the main library to be open late. Over the library entrance are the words, "The City of New York has erected this building for the free use of all the people. Closing the library for private events during prime time is de facto privatization and unbecoming of a great city." What is more important, cocktail parties for the connected, or a quiet space for students, scholars, startup founders, and job seekers? The City Council should tell NYPL's leadership that the best way to serve the public is not through expensive and unnecessary capital projects. Instead, keep the Central Library and all libraries open longer. Serve readers, not cocktails. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matthew, for the testimony, and I will take a look at that, and have not seen this particular view echoed, that the reason that the library is not open more evenings in particular is for some of their earned income events or other events. But I will talk to Tony Marks about that, but I appreciate your perspective in coming here today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for getting my last name right earlier. That doesn't happen very often.
Well, I didn't get many right today, so I'll take the hard one that I got. But I have a very difficult last name.
Yes.
That often gets mispronounced, including today. But that's okay. Michael, last but not least.
Michael White, Citizens Defending Libraries. I support and endorse everything that Matthew just said. These are images of Karl Lagerfeld's library, personal library, 300,000 books. Those 300,000 books are just a few books shy in number from the number that's being talked about as the number of books that will be in the reduced Mid-Manhattan library. That's not the way it should be. The Mid-Manhattan library is designed to hold over 700,000 books. We're talking about it being consolidated with the Sybil Library, from which over 1 million books are missing. and then all of the Donnell Library, hundreds of thousands of books. He was something of a polymath, but these represent his personal interests. The Mid-Manhattan Library, the main circulating library for all New Yorkers, should represent the interests of all of the libraries, of all of the New Yorkers. These are pictures of the empty shelves of the Flatbush Library. These were taken the day that the Brooklyn Public Library trustees held a trustees meeting above these empty shelves, quite oblivious to them, and they had a sort of goofy meeting about how to rearrange furniture in shrunken libraries so that you wouldn't notice that they didn't have any space. So I heard Linda Johnson today talk about how the replacement Brooklyn Heights Library is going to be a bigger, better configured library. That's not true. It's going to be 40% of the previous library. It will be not an education library, not a business library, not a career library, not a federal depository library. It won't have the same books. And in terms of configuration, it will be configured as an afterthought to what the developer wanted for his luxury project. Now, similarly, Iris Weinschall said that the reason to sell off the Inwood Library was that because of its poor configuration. But when they assembled the developers to bid on the property, they said that configuration didn't matter. So what you're being told is not true, and we are eliminating books, and people like Karl Lagerfeld, who have the privilege to own what's valuable, own more books than we are affording the New Yorkers of this city.
Thank you for also challenging my vision here. But I think
I'd like to put it up here because it's always so impressive when the library administrators come in and they're able to do their big presentations. And I'd love it if, for the future, we can prearrange to do some great shows that everyone could see.
We will talk to you about that afterwards, but I think I got the gist of it. And
it's also up on Citizens Defending Libraries.
Okay.
So.
It looks like Karl Lagerfeld had a lot of books, so I'm willing to stipulate that. And I appreciate your viewpoint and the things that you've raised here at this committee meeting and others. And the Queens Library skates today. So only NYPL and BPL were mentioned here today, but by this particular panel. So let me just say thank you to both of you for caring about libraries as much as you do, and for coming to, well, Michael always comes to our hearings, but Matthew, maybe this is your first? Is this your first? Yes. So maybe we'll see you more regularly like we do Michael, but I appreciate that you come from a place of loving libraries and wanting libraries to be the best that they can be. So thank you both very, very much for being here, and with that, our committee is adjourned.
Thank you.